Opening scene. It all happened last year. Exams were around the corner, and I was buried under books. Our school library usually closed by 5, but that month they kept it open until midnight for students. Since my home was just a short walk away, I always chose the quiet of the library over distractions at home. That evening, I reached around 6 and started studying. Hours passed without me noticing. When I finally looked up, it was already 10 p.m. I had never stayed this late before. By 8, there are usually a few students around, but at 10, the silence was heavy. Still, I only had about 15 minutes of work left. I decided to finish quickly before heading out. First suspense built up. The library was silent except for the sound of my pen scratching the paper. Suddenly, I heard something faint, like the uneven drag of a foot, a limping sound. At first, I thought maybe it was another student, but the sound grew closer. My heart skipped. I shoved my books into my bag and hurried out. The library opened into a long corridor. At the far end, a turn led to the main exit. I was almost halfway through when I froze. There was someone at the end, a woman. I slowed my steps. The closer I got, the stronger the feeling of unease grew. "Who's there?" I called out. My voice echoed, but in the blink of an eye, she was gone. I let out a shaky breath and rushed outside. The empty street. The street outside was strange that night. Usually, even late at night, there are cars, people, life. But this time nothing. Just silence. Exhaustion and hunger made my legs heavy. I kept my eyes on the ground, just trying to reach home. And that's when I saw it. A shadow. Long and stretched across the pavement, but there was no one around me. I froze. Slowly, I lifted my eyes. A woman was walking just ahead. The encounter. She moved slowly, as though every step was a struggle. Her clothes were torn, her body twisted, her hair tangled into knots. Something deep inside me screamed not to get closer, but my steps betrayed me. Soon, I was almost right behind her. She stopped, turned slightly. Then, in a raspy voice, she asked me a question I'll never forget. "Have you seen my daughter?" My throat closed. I couldn't speak. In panic, I pointed toward the far end of the street. She went that way. The woman limped off into the distance, following where I pointed. Slowly, her figure faded into the darkness. The climax, relief washed over me. I wanted to believe it was over. But then a scream ripped through the silence, a scream that chilled my blood. "She is here." The voice was hers, my vision blurred. I ran, stumbling, until the world spun out of control. Everything went black. The aftermath. When I woke, I was lying in my bed. My neighbor had found me unconscious on the street and carried me home. He told me something that still keeps me awake at night. Years ago, a woman named Agatha lived nearby. She had a young daughter who attended our school. One afternoon, her daughter died in a tragic accident. Agatha couldn't bear the loss. She wandered endlessly, searching for her child, until grief consumed her. Since then, people say her spirit lingers around the school and its streets, always looking, always asking the same question. "Have you seen my daughter?" Closing. I don't know if what I saw that night was real, but even now, whenever I walk past the library late at night, I feel her presence, watching, waiting, The script natural pacing ke south 10 plus minutes, easily stretch ho jayega jab up narration, pauses, or background effects add carriage, music, footsteps, whispers, scream.